Hi everyone, anyone watching on repeat because there's no one in at the moment. Thought I'd just pop live. Sunday morning, 10:40 a.m. Wasn't doing anything. I'm certainly not going out in this weather. Sun's out, it's bloody warm. So I'm kick off my hay fever. So Sunday today, Mrs. at work for a while. It's either filming videos or go live. Obviously, if no one comes in, then I'll not go live. See what happens. Oh, Stephen. Hi, Stephen. How you doing? Hope you're well. Cement Shoes. Hello, good morning. How you keeping, mate? You all right? Hope you're well. Yeah, just thought I'd sort of go impromptu live. Just because I'm not doing anything and I don't plan on doing anything today. I was going to start recording. I was going to record a couple of videos, actually. I was going to do another Desert Island Discs and TV collection update video. I may do that later, and I was in the process of watching I don't know what happened there. I don't know if you lost me for a minute there. My screen went blank. I was in the process of watching Fight Club, the movie, because I haven't seen it before, and it was voted on as one I should watch. So what happened was I was up early. Give me one sec. Sorry, I was giving the tortoise a bath. I had to turn the shower off so as not to drown him. So yeah, I was in the process of watching Fight Club for my unseen movie review, because it's a film that I've never really bothered watching, even though it's lauded over. It just never appealed to me. So I don't know, I'm probably about 35 minutes into it, I think. I was up at I want to say 3 a.m. 4 a.m. No, 3 a.m. and started watching it and then dozed off. Not because I was bored of the film, because I was tired. So I just sort of turned it off and shut my eyes on the sofa. But there we go. So I will get back to that later today and do my review for that, and that'll be up sometime in the week. But yeah, no, I'm doing good, mate. I'm all right. Morning. Says people saying hello to each other. Morning, Nate. All right, Scotty, how are you keeping, mate? I have put up a poll for my next actors, ranking chosen actor that Scotty suggested I do, which I did. And it's out of the big three: Arnie, Stallone, and Bruce Willis. How's that poll going? I only done it this morning, so I wouldn't expect too much on it at the moment, but let's see. Okay, 34 votes. Arnie's winning with 62%. Stallone's coming in at 29%, and Brucey's coming in at 9%. Not a lot of love for Brucey there. Arnie's getting all the love on that poll. So vote for that if you haven't voted, and I'll bring you that later in the week as well, and then I'll after that I'll do another poll, and we'll do it like that. And anyone leaving comments of that, anyone you'd like me to give top 5 of my favourite movies of theirs, let me know. Although I was contemplating, should I do it as top 5 movies? Because obviously with the Keanu Reeves one I'd done, I couldn't exactly go, John Wick 1, John Wick 2, John Wick 3, John Wick 4 like that. And I'm wondering if I should do favourite characters, so that, do you know what I mean? Like Terminator's encompassed under one, Rambo and Rocky are encompassed under one, or just pick one film from the franchise like I did in the Keanu Reeves one. I'm not sure which way to go with it. People saying hello to Monkey. Morning, AJ. Number 1 rule for Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Yes, I was thinking that. How on earth am I going to do my review if I can't talk about Fight Club? It's the rule. Alan says, good morning, AJ. How are you? I'm good, thank you, Alan. Hope you're well. I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thanks. Luke's film unboxings. Hi, AJ. Will be awesome if they released a collector's edition Terminator set. Yeah, the problem is the distribution rights, isn't it? The Terminator franchise has always jumped from studio to studio with their rights. Luke, you've got a live later on, I believe, with young Luke. If I'm not mistaken. What time is that? 2, 3 o'clock, something like that. I can't remember the time, but I know it is later. So that should be good there. Anyone who's interested, go over and visit that. Good morning, good morning. Arnold's winning. Arnold is winning. But everyone will get their day. Obviously, you know, Sly and Brucey will get their day. I'll mix it up a bit at times. I thought I'd do the big three. I might drop Sly and Brucey from the next one and have some more actors, but even if I drop them, they will work their way back round into it as well. Michael's movie corner. Michael is on. Hi, Michael. How you doing? You got any lives today? It's great that you enjoyed Predator. I'd be interested in your thoughts on Predator 2. Yeah. Interesting fact about Fight Club. Rosie O'Donnell told the ending while it was still in theatres and started a bunch of crap. Okay. I do know the ending. I do know the twist. So that ain't going to exactly come as a surprise to me. It's the journey of getting there. Morning, Michael's movie corner. Don't forget Seagal and Van Damme. Yeah, I mean it's endless list of thespians that I will do. Yeah, I'll just carry on. But what about some female actresses? Any ideas there? Michael's lazy. He's still in bed. Good. Oh, okay. Luke's had to cancel his live. Luke with Luke. Oh, that's a shame. But things happen, don't they? You know, it's what it is. Not to be beheld by it. I just thought that I would just pop live because I weren't doing anything else. Wife's at work, and I couldn't be bothered to start filming anything yet or carry on watching the film. It's so warm out there. It's so hot. Seriously, I'm not a fan of this weather. AJ, I suffered the worst pain ever, says the monkey. Worst pain imaginable. I reviewed Fast X and didn't tear it to bits. The more time goes by, the more I hate it. It's a toothache that only feels worse over time. It's that's already hit video on demand or something, hasn't it? It's wow, that's like really quick, really quick that film has. You know, what's that been out? A couple of weeks, and already you can like watch it in the comfort of your own home. I know that there's something to be said about the experience of cinema. That's if you get the experience of the cinema without the experience of ignorant individuals who talk on their phones, take phone calls all the way through the film, who just don't care about anyone else in that you know, in that auditorium at the time. But you know, I've got to ask myself, is it worth going to the cinema anymore? Because you take a 50-50 chance with the experience not being ruined by someone else, but then within a couple of weeks, well, you know, even 6 weeks, time flies, doesn't it? Tempus fugit. Time, you know, within 6 weeks, you've got, or quicker in some of these cases, Fast X, you can watch these films somewhere else as a proper copy. I'm not talking about pirate even. I know there's exceptions to the rule with some movies, but this is what I've done. That's why I've done that video. Are they destroying one another? This it's what I'm saying. You have cinema, you have video on demand. So on the one hand, if I go to the cinema and see it, then I'm not going to pay to see it on video on demand because I've just seen it, right? And as a general audience member and not someone who collects film and loves film, I'm not going to buy physical media because I've seen the film 6 weeks ago. So why do I want to see it again? On the other hand of that, why do I want to go cinema to see a film that within a few weeks' time I can either pick up on physical media or on video on demand? It's kind of like counterintuitive. It's like two opposing forces. It's like two magnetic, two magnets fighting against one another as opposed to coming together. It's like they're I don't know, it just don't seem to work. It don't logically. It's just two opposing forces going at one another. And it's only a small minority of people, which are people like the people in this community, the passionate people that will go cinema and then watch it, or buy it straight away. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It makes more sense years ago when you had that gap between film release and between cinema release and rental and purchase, that it builds up again. That excitement for the film coming out on rental builds up again, and it did when you saw the banners in the rental store that this film was coming. You had to rent it, and if you hadn't seen it in the cinema, the anticipation built up. If you had seen it in the cinema, and however many months and a year had gone by, whatever it is, 6-9 months, whatever the time used to be when I was a lad. It's like I said, time works differently when you're younger. It seems longer, but that excitement's built up again for that film, and now the studios. These films are now disposable. They're disposable. They can be wrapped up. They can be thrown away. You watch them, and they're disposable entertainment. And this is obviously what Disney's treating them as, with removing stuff. But my point is that being disposable, they need to release them quick to garner more income from them. They've created this beast. Things have not working in their favor in a sense, and the whole it's like everything's about to implode in upon itself, for want of a better term. I don't know. The ladies of DC and Marvel, what are we talking about? Rankings. I should start doing. I used to do rankings. I should do more rankings. So yeah, thanks for sort of pointing me back in that direction. Currently doing a thumbnail for my review for The Godfather. Now, there's a film that I should put on my unwatched movie vote list. I've not seen The Godfather, not seen one of them. They hold little to no interest for me whatsoever. I know they're lauded over and got loads of plaudits and all this. Just never been interested in watching The Godfather. That sort of Italian mafia, it doesn't really interest me at all. I used to be married to an Italian bird. The first wife, well, I've only had 2 wives. I'm on my second one still, but my first, she was Italian. Yeah, I just got no, I don't know why. I just have no interest. It's an odd one. It's really hot in here. I'm sweating. I might move into the front room in a minute. The sun's coming through. I know the sun's not direct where it is, partly on me, but you can't see it. It's on my arm, but it's warm. I don't like the heat. June 21st, longest day of the year. And then the nights start rolling in after that, and I'm happy. There it is, because of my hay fever. It just. So if this time you hear me sniffing a lot in my videos, it's not because I'm like some sort of secret summertime cocaine addict. It's because I suffer with severe hay fever, and it's really bad because my nose gets really sore, gets really red round here, and I run the risk of not that it's a risk in a sense, but I get, can get drug tested any day at work, random drug testing, DNA, drinking alcohol testing. And the last thing when you're in a big meeting and you're like, just here and here, just like, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like alarm bells ring for everyone else. It's funny, I've seen people, you know, I remember once when we had a DNA testing, and this one fella, he made sure he was last to be tested, but I've never seen someone drink so much water. He kept filling up these 2-litre bottles, and he was, you know, I was wondering he didn't drown on them. The amount of water that he drank, not that was a sign in itself of guilt, but I suppose he was hoping that sort of age-old adage of the solution to pollution is dilution would kick in, and it didn't. Yeah, he like cocaine or something. I think he had cocaine. Ironically, it was actually his fault that we got drug tested, because he was mouthing about it. A week beforehand, someone else heard and reported it. And then, ironically, they wanted us to go back to work afterwards. You know, so okay, you can go out now. You can go and do your work now. And I turned around and said, no, we can't. Why not? Why? It's done. I go, because we've been on the bit of paper that I've been given, the slip that I've been given, I've been tested for calls. Everyone had been tested for calls because of this phone call that was made, and they couldn't be targeting one person. They tried to do everyone. And I said, so rules state that the minute that we're tested for calls, as opposed to randomly, if it was random, I could go back out to work, but because it's for calls, I'm on suspension until such time that the full test is carried out, because it's only a small one at site. It doesn't determine what's in the system, but even if you pass it, it's still got to go away for a full test and come back as you being okay. So it was like everyone was like on suspension for about 3 days until all the proper in-depth drug tests came back, because the on-the-day ones just pick up that you failed. They don't actually tell you exactly what it is that you failed on, because potentially I could be taking a genuine tablet that's prescribed to me. For argument's sake, I think some antidepressants and things like that, when you do a test, you will fail. But what you do is you declare. You should declare anyway, as at the point when you're taking the tablets. You know, they should be run through. But before you go in for a DNA test, you sit there and they say, "Are you taking any tablets? What have you taken in the past 2 weeks?" So you know, you start listing them out, don't you? You know, I'm taking paracetamol for this, ibuprofen, taking hay fever tablets, whatever the name they are, Viagra for this reason, and all that sort of a thing. And then, you know, because they're all sort of legal drugs, it's fine. But if you fail the test because of one of these, even though you've given information on it, you're still suspended, because it can't determine between that at that point what it exactly is that's caused the failure. But when it goes away and it's tested and comes back that, oh, actually it's one of the antidepressants that you've taken or on that's prescribed that causes this, everything's fine in that sense. But you know, but yeah, it's yeah, there we go. Anyway, moving on. I'll get into a conversation about drug testing. It's odd. There we go. Fast X. The film was so bad, only one other person was in the whole theatre when I saw it. Yeah, I think the Fast franchise has definitely had its day. I think it peaked however many films ago. I can't remember. The Fast franchise, I mean, I don't mind them. I never liked the earlier Fast films. I'm not a fan of the early ones when it was street racing and all that. Held no interest for me whatsoever. But when they became over the top, ludicrous, action, spectacular type of movies, I was I was intrigued, and obviously you had this roster of cast members that kept coming in, bigger and bigger actors, and it kind of piqued my interest. It was kind of like, okay, Vehicular Mayhem, Expendable style, so to speak. So even ludicrous, don't matter how ludicrous the Fast and Furious franchise get, I know that I can put a film on, I can have 2 hours of fun, shall we say, where I just don't, seriously, I don't, they're films that I can put on, I don't have to think. I don't have to do any thinking. It's just nonsense on the screen, and it's nice to get into that. The family aspect does really annoy me. I think, you know, obviously in this latest film, when certain characters get killed, you're like rolling your eyes thinking, no one dies in this universe anyway. They're going to be back. You know, that no one's dead. So there's no stakes or anything like that. Yeah. But there we go. It's this franchise I can have fun with. But yeah, the better days are behind it. I mean, my most rewatched one is Hobbs and Shaw, because it stands apart from the others. It stands alone. I haven't got to worry about the bigger world and the bigger narrative, and not that there's a bigger narrative, but they all mulge into one. The films, I can't tell you what film the tank was in. I can't tell you what film the submarine was in. I'll probably guess whereabouts. I know that the tank came before the submarine. Submarine was probably 7, but I guess tank 1 maybe 5. I think 6. If I am right with them too, I can't tell you anything in 6. Is that the plane? Is that the aeroplane? The runway that runs forever? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be surprised if I'm correct. But yeah, they all sort of mulge into one. And I'm going to be really nasty here and be really horrible. And no disrespect to Paul Walker, but I was never a fan of Paul Walker. I was never. He never drew me to any film whatsoever. I found him to be extremely good an actor, and I actively avoided films because of him. And for me, his departure, as sad as it is for anyone to pass away at such a young age, his departure from the franchise, stepping away from the reasons for it, it had no impact on me whatsoever. In fact, I was, for me, it was probably a better turn of events for the franchise. No, that sounds pretty harsh, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say otherwise. And it was quite ironic how he died. It was kind of like life imitating art kind of a situation, given that it was a car crash, and this geezer renowned for doing films about vehicular mayhem. Yeah, kind of very ironic. But yeah, to die at such a young age is sad for anyone. But yeah, he just wasn't my cup of tea. There we go. Speaking of cup of tea, I've finished that one. Scotty says, looking to purchase a new movie-related shirt. What shirt that you own is your favourite, peeps? So that's to everyone. Everyone got a favourite movie-related T-shirt. I've got stacks of movie-related T-shirts. I mean, at the moment, I'm wearing a Stargate SG-1 logo T-shirt. I do have a Sequest one like this. I am getting one with it's a Transformers one, actually, but it's a mix of Transformers and Jurassic Park. It's if you can imagine the Jurassic Park logo, but it's Grimlock, the Tyrannosaurus Rex in it instead, and says Grimlock through it instead of Jurassic Park. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of full body print. I like something little, something smaller. I don't mind a back print, but something full body there. And you find this with like Superman shirts and that, right? Superman, I've seen some Superman T-shirts, logo T-shirts. I do have a Superman logo T-shirt from years ago. I have a couple. But it's like they position the S too far down. Same with the Punisher one. and I'd like it to be positioned a bit more higher up on the shirt as opposed to proper central. And I've seen Superman ones where it's almost central, and it's like, that's not where it's meant to be positioned. It's meant to be more up there. But yeah, I don't know. I've got some nice Army of Darkness ones. I do wear full body ones on camera, but I don't generally go out in them. I shouldn't really go out in any printed t-shirt really, but I do. But generally I try to stick to something a bit less sort of, I like the t-shirts where you've got to think about what it is that you're looking at. So like the Cyberdyne logo or the Tyrell Corporation, that sort of a thing, where someone will say, it's like I've got Quint's shark fishing t-shirt from Jaws, only I've stopped wearing it because someone commented on it that it doesn't look like the word Quint, it looks like something else, a derogatory term for a female's reproductive area. And I looked at it and thought, oh yeah. But I like those t-shirts that people look at and they don't know what they are. Like you might get one with the OCP logo on it, like this one, SG1. The only people who are going to pick up on what that is people who really know Stargate. Otherwise, it goes by as anything. I like those sort of t-shirts. So if you've got favourite t-shirts, let Scott know. You should be getting your John Wick tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, but Amazon are really, really annoying me at the moment. But no, I should, because I've got HMV first edition coming, which I forgot to cancel. Okay, so over here in the UK, Stephen, I don't know how it is in the US, there's probably about half a dozen different John Wick 4 releases, and you don't know what to go for. You don't know the best. I know that I think Lee's got his one already. Hi, Lee. How you doing, mate? I've seen his one online. Lee got his one. If I'm correct, Lee, you got the one with the plastic slip that comes off of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I had several different ones ordered. I had not knowing which one to go for. So I did have the HMV first edition ordered. I had the special edition ordered, which came with the bump, like the little badge and the map and all this. I cancelled that a while ago, as did I cancel the steelbook that Lee opened, because when there's so much choice piled upon me and I don't know what to go for, I kind of react in the way that I say, okay, sod ya, I'm going to get none of them apart from the standard edition. So I had all these different ones ordered. I had the HMV first edition. I'll come back to that. I had this steelbook with slip. I had the one with all the bump, which really looks cheap because it ain't in a nice solid case that it slides out of. It's one of them cases you pop open at the top and pull it all out. And I think that's like really lazy. So I was quite glad that I got rid of that one. Steelbook one. So what happened was I came to the conclusion. I said, sod it, I am cancelling all of these and I'm just going to get the standard release that comes with the lenticular slip, right? So that's what's still on pre-order from Amazon. However, the other day I got a shipping notification of the HMV first one because I hadn't realised that I still had it on pre-order with HMV. I didn't even realise that. I thought my bank account looked a little bit smaller, but I didn't think anything of it. When I saw that having shipped, I then went back and looked at my bank account and said, well, when did they take that? Oh, a couple of days ago. But that's still yet to come. But I'm having a wealth of problems with Amazon. Amazon are just really annoying me because I've got a book on order from Amazon that I pre-ordered on the 15th of April 2022, 14 months ago. It's a omnibus of Spider-Man 2099, Peter David's, the original run of Spider-Man 2099. And they just haven't had it in stock at all. So that's still sitting as a pre-order. At the moment, RoboCop, the TV series, I've ordered that off of HMV because Amazon, still no sign of them having it. The John Wick with the lenticular slip. I know other people. I think Matt's got notification of his having shipped, but I haven't. So either Amazon are just turning to crap, which I believe they are, or Amazon have put me on their naughty list for for stuff. I'm having a look if I can get into my phone at where exactly what the situation is with my John Wick. So what John Wicks are you getting, if anyone? What have you decided to go for? I think all the choices, it's that sort of situation. If I'm put on the spot and someone comes to me and says to me, do you want to do this? Do you want to? And I'm like, well, I need some time to think about it. And then they turn around to me and say, I need a yes or no answer right now. Right? It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to turn around to that person and say no. The answer is no. If you put me on the spot, you're getting a no. And this is what it feels like, almost feels like with this John Wick release. It's like you've inundated me with choice. Don't know which way to go, so sodja. However, that choice has been made for me in the fact that I didn't cancel the HMV first edition, which if I don't like, I'll return it to HMV. Who cares? But yeah, the lenticular slip, it says arriving Saturday for the lenticular slip. I expect that to change, but I'm in no rush. I don't need it on release day. I enjoyed John Wick 4 on the first watch. Although I thought it was overly long, it is overly long. On the second watch, I switched it off. I couldn't watch it because it is overly long, and it seems pointlessly overly long. It seems like scenes between action is stretched more than what they need to be. The action itself is stretched more than what it needs to be. And I'm not going to knock the creativity behind the film or the films themselves. I think they look fantastic. I think the choreography in it is second to none. They are stunning looking movies. They truly are a work of art. That being said, if I am just given fight scene after fight scene after fight scene, it's very repetitive nature storytelling. And that in itself, I start to struggle with. It's very much like Groundhog Day storytelling. I call it Groundhog Day storytelling. I struggle with the Groundhog Day concept of a film in that I feel like I'm not progressing in the narrative when the day restarts and restarts and restarts. I have this problem with the Tom Cruise one. I forget the title of it. That sci-fi one with Emily Blunt. Even in TV, it's so overdone, the Groundhog Day storytelling, that I just feel like I'm not progressing in the narrative, and I want progression in the narrative. And when I have fight scene after fight scene after fight scene just for the sake of it, I feel the same. It's hard to. So for me, I think John Wick 4 would probably be the least visited John Wick film for me. Because of length, because of its sheer length. I don't think it needed to be that long. Sorry, I'm talking. So, like I said, Lee, hey Lee, how you doing? I might do one next Friday night for an hour, 6 till 7. That's Luke talking about doing a live. Hey Rob, how you doing, mate? Yeah, we'll sort out some dates for thingy. I'm going away for a couple of weeks though, so I'm not going to be about. So once I get back, we'll sort out. Lee says The Godfather is a mixed bag, if I'm honest. Yes, they just never appealed. They've never appealed to me, but I should include it as one. You know, I should get round to watching it at some point. I did have someone say to me, it was in someone else's comment saying, "Oh, how can you have movie? How can you have the word movie in your channel name when you haven't seen The Godfather?" a film that's lauded over by everyone, that's in people's top 10 movies of all time or whatever. And I said, well, why would you expect me to have seen every single film ever? Why would you, yeah, but it's in the top 10. It's in the top 10. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and watch every film that other people tell me to go and watch if it don't appeal to me whatsoever. It makes no sense. I goes, you wouldn't expect if my channel was about music, you wouldn't have expected me to listen to every single piece of music that's ever been played. My channel was about books. You wouldn't expect me to have read every single piece of literature that's ever been written, even those that are rated top. Why? It makes no sense. Speaking of, having movies in your title and having not seen anything, there's Michael. Hi, Michael, again. Godfather hadn't interested me either, but I left it to a vote for a Tales from my backlog for next month, and it got 64% of the vote, but I enjoyed it. It was really good for the 3 hours. Okay, cool. Well, that's great. I will include it at some point. A mixed bag of oranges. Stop using the crank, says Wilson. I suppose that's crank, I don't know. That's some good gear you're on, AJ. Pete says, morning. Hi, Pete, how are you keeping? Here's a little life hack that does work with hay fever. I've tried this. Try putting Vaseline around your nostrils. It stops pollen going up your nose. Surprisingly works well, as none of the tablets work for me. I've tried it, seriously. I've tried every trick in the book. Next year, I'm probably going to look at getting the injection, see if that works. I'll see. I watched Fast X last night, and you know what? It's pure dumb fun. It knows what it is and has fun with it. That's exactly what they are. Exactly what they are. I do believe that it was, like I said, its best time has been and gone, but I have fun with them. I mean, even that car going into space, come on, everyone joked, oh, where can they go next? Into space. And they've done it. They've done it and you know what? As stupid and ludicrous as it was fun. And I the things that I've seen them do in these movies, going into space is least of its problems. I've accepted so much else, that a car can jump from one building to another building and gravity not come into effect. Because when you jump off, when you jump off of something, you don't go like that. You get to a point where gravity, this momentum slows, and then this momentum speeds up. You don't go like that. Do you know what I mean? There's so many ludicrous moments in these, and that tank on the highway going into space was nothing. It was just stupid, in their sort of whatever suits they were wearing. I don't know, but it was fun. I don't care what people say. I know they're stupid. I sit down and I know I'm getting into something stupid. Can't wait till Thursday. Season 2 of Strange New Worlds will finally start. Yeah, it's come around pretty quick. That's good. That's good. So Transformers was good. Transformers was I've seen other reviews, let's just say, and at the end of the day, it's subjective anyway, so I can't take away. But when I hear people saying that it's a polished movie, when I hear people saying that it's got good writing in it, that it's good acting, I'm like, have you watched a completely different film to me here? Because this film is nothing but a rehash of what we've had before. Some of the lines of dialogue in it are hideous. The two human characters, only two human characters in it anyway. Two human characters are they're not interesting in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. You've got this ending that's set up, and they say, if you destroy this, if you blow up this skybeam thing, it's the power of this thing is the power of I don't know, a supernova, they're saying, and if you destroy it, it will, you know, they set up ramifications of this if they destroy it, this explosion being massive. And at the end of the day, when they destroy it, the explosion is nothing. It's nothing whatsoever. When Unicron starts appearing, they've done that in one of the other Transformer films. Not with Unicron, they've done it with Cybertron. When Cybertron starts appearing through the sky, it's just a rinse and repeat of the other films. Not to mention what they've done with some of the characters, like Wheeljack as a Volkswagen Beetle van, Volkswagen van. What was that about? So they, and funnily enough, Wheeljack, I do believe, is at the start of the Bumblebee movie. You do see him in his proper form as he looks. So you've taken all the goodwill that you've done in Bumblebee, making it in that opening of Bumblebee, making it more like, you know, these characters do look like what they look like in the cartoons. And then you've reverted back to designs of Transformers that hark back to Revenge of the Fallen and things like that. The accent that Thingy had, the Wheeljack character, it was just pure. And what were those ball things that he was dropping out? Unicron. I was going to say something else then because what was it? Can't remember the name that was used. There was a different name used, but Unicron. I'm talking about elsewhere. Yeah. Anyway, so these ball things were coming out. What was that about? And the film had no conviction to its own. All right. So without spoiling things, you get a death, but you know it's not going to be a death, right? And this happens twice in the film. The second one I thought may have been a death, but no, it wasn't. I mean, could you imagine that if that first death was done for real? There may have been a bit more emotion, a bit more stakes would have been higher. It was, and some of the effects were god awful in it. You know, if you just look at when the scene where the robots are walking through the water, when they're in the jungle, you look at the splashes around their feet. They look crap. They look, you know, this film isn't as well directed. You know, for all Bay and his faults, with those films, that money was on the screen. That money was there. Those films, you saw that budget on the screen. This film clearly had a much lower budget. It wasn't a good film. It wasn't well written. It wasn't well acted. It isn't polished. It's nothing in it stood out. There was no action set piece that stood out and actually said, wow, this really has got your blood pumping. Bay's ones had that. I mean, do you remember Dark of the Moon? Dark of the Moon, where you had the soldiers jump out of the plane and they're in the wingsuits. That looked fantastic. That looked superb. There's moments like that in all the Transformer films that look fantastic, and now they've been whittled down. And yeah, let's move on. Lee says new Transformers is trash. Let's be honest. Although I don't think it was. It's funny. I wouldn't say it was a. Would I say it's a bad film? I wouldn't say it was a bad film. It's got a lot of flaws, a lot of problems, and it's very mediocre. It's very mediocre. I can see why people might like it, and I don't want to take that away from people, but you know, it's one of those films that, yeah, it's issue after issue with it. It was great seeing the Maximals, you know, although I don't understand why they would be in gorilla form and things like this on an alien planet. That makes no sense. Why are you on an alien planet at the start, hundreds, millions of years, whatever, thousands of years ago, before you come to Earth, and you're in gorilla form? That makes no sense to me. But it was a nice aesthetic seeing a different type of robot, I guess. But then, like I said, the designs of some of the others were just straight out of, yeah, Scourge is nothing like Scourge. There's nothing Scourge about him whatsoever. Yeah, it's not good. It's just one of those films like, It's there, it exists, and it doesn't. For me, it doesn't drop into that realm of being this is a complete and utter disaster. It's one that I think it's one of those films I wish that I liked, like I wish was good, but and I, but I can watch it and then I can just rip it apart for just flaws from beginning to end. I don't know. When Wonder Woman pops out in the sub in the end, I thought, holy poop, this is a DC franchise now. Yes. Spoiler warning. Wilson says, hey Jay, I enjoyed your coverage of Star Trek Picard and Strange New Worlds. Are you a gamer by chance and have took a look at Star Trek? So I'm not a gamer at all. No, I don't. That's more my sort of kids' domain, I suppose. I used to, when I was younger, I used to have like Sega Mega Drive, Sega CD, that sort of thing, and then moved on to PlayStation. My first Blu-ray player was the PlayStation 3. The kids came along and life took a different direction, and I stopped playing games. They started playing games, and I would kick around with them and play with them for fun. I'd play things like Call of Duty with them, but boy am I rubbish at it. We would do like solo maps where it was just me and them two on the map, no one else. And it's like, here you go, Dad. Take your character, take whatever weapons you could choose from, whatever you want to choose, machine guns, whatever. We'll just have a knife, and we got to hunt each other down on the map. And so I've got a sniper rifle or I've got machine guns, and they'd just be like, and I'd be dead. It's like my fingers just don't work fast enough to play these games anymore. But I had wonderful times with my younger son playing Lego Star Wars. He couldn't speak for a long time. He had speech dyspraxia, and we would sit and play Lego Star Wars. And they were nice, really nice times. Obviously, he can speak now perfectly. I mean, better than me when he speaks. I think he may have probably lost it now, but when he started speaking, every T was pronounced. His pronunciation of stuff was spot on. He was really nice to hear. But I think regional dialect would have kicked in and overtaken that where he is. The bounty is waiting for your availability. Dead or alive. So no, to answer your question, no, I don't play. Quim fishing. You've lost me. I have both the steel slip editions for John Wick 4. You're right, far too many editions to choose from. Yes. Yeah, it was. It's straight. Strange. Amazon and their pre-orders are a waste of time. You pre-order and don't get it till a week later. Wait until midnight of release day and get it for delivery late. That is exactly right. Yes. I've noticed that a fair few times with Amazon now. And I pay for Amazon Prime as well. And although I will tell you, I'll tell you a little trick with Amazon. I'll share you. Obviously, they don't. Based upon your purchasing habits, the amount that you buy from Amazon, you essentially qualify for damage returns where they let you keep the older item and send you a new one and all this sort of a thing and tell you to throw the old one away, or and it's kind of like a computer algorithm that kicks in that says, okay, this person has purchased this much stuff, so now if they phone up with a problem, we'll give them a £10 voucher. We'll tell them to keep the damaged item, or if it's an item that's gone out of stock and it's been damaged, we'll tell them to keep it and give them a refund, and they can do whatever they want with it. It doesn't, and it's kind of rolls round, because when you go on and talk to their people, they essentially say, let me see what I can do for you. And what that is then is going into the system and seeing what the system has generated as an outcome of a situation for you. And the outcome might be, if it's happened pretty recently that you've done it, it will say, well, we'll only give you a return. You can return and replace. If it's, we can offer you a voucher, we'll offer you some money back, we'll offer you, do you know what I mean? And it's a game that you can actually play with them. And it morally, yeah, it's a bit wrong, but, Amazon, do they pay their taxes in this country? No, they don't. Not like they should. But yeah, it's but yeah, they annoy me. They're annoying me at the moment. Stephen, over in America, Sacramento, we had several editions for John Wick 3 out here. 3 stores have an exclusive plus Amazon. Walmart has 2 exclusives. You've already seen that. I went with the standard Blu-ray. Yeah, it's so many. I'm going to be very unpopular here. John Wick 4 isn't that great. Yeah, it's too long. It's too damn long. Too much stretching out of the narrative. It's my least favourite of the 4. And my second, when I tried watching it a second time, I thought, I can't do this. I'm not in the mood for it. Switch it off. There we go. Edge of Tomorrow, that's the one. Couldn't remember. Even without tomorrow, I'll be watching Terminator for the first time. If I don't like it and have one of my hot takes, I get the feeling I should hide for a while. Well, Empire Strikes Back, Alien, or at least you like Predator. If you don't like Terminator, you need to scrub. I'll just go with Michael's Corner. Just change the title to Michael's Corner. But no, hopefully you enjoy it. Take care, folks. I'm popping into town now for a spot of CEX and maybe some banking. Is that a euphemism? Never seen Terminator. I know, it's shocking. I rewatched Star Trek Into Darkness last night, and the more I think about it, the more I believe it's a Space Seed remake with a hint of Wrath of Khan than a full Wrath of Khan remake. Yeah, it has got, they've kind of amalgamated the 2 sort of stories into one there. What I like about, not being sarcastic here, is the scene where him and Khan and Kirk, he's inside the cell, Kirk's outside, and you've got the reveal that he's Khan, and you got this big like orchestral kind of shock thing done at the time, and it's done for the audience. It's done for the audience, but if you think of it narratively from Kirk's perspective, Cumberbatch is like, I am, or whatever he says, I can't remember, but I am Khan, and you're, and as an audience member, you're like, oh, you're meant to be anyway. But from a narrative perspective, Kirk would just be like, who are you? And you've got this big build up in orchestra. So it's just so silly. It's so, because it's not done for the script. It's done solely for the audience. And it just doesn't work at all. Although it's a film that they should never have remade Wrath of Khan or attempted to touch that. Why do you have to touch the classics? There's a reason why they went with Wrath of Khan as remaking that, obviously, Michael, which is because it's considered the best Star Trek film by by the majority of people. And that's why they chose to do it as a second, as the second film. But again, doing it as a second film when Wrath of Khan was a second film, they should never have touched, never have gone with it. And again, a film that's not, afraid to Kirk dying and then Kirk being brought back at the end as from the Tribble blood, just stupidness. It's just not true to its convictions, type of a thing. But it's a big budget blockbuster film that has some. It looks great. It looks great. I can't deny that. But yeah, we know you think that. I say think. Joseph, how you doing, mate? I'm going to get some couple network titles this month. My last Horde network will be end of 2023. I'm going to get ITV Classics from Via Vision. Yeah, I want to get a hold of Stingray. I like how Network have gone under and then all of a sudden it's like everyone panics and starts buying them. It isn't like Network would have been making loads and loads of these. The numbers wouldn't have increased any or by much. But it's sad that a company's gone down. It's just a reflection of what truly what's happening. They're going to do Doctor Who: The Collection Series 1 by Christopher Eccleston after Peter Davison season 20. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, what in them nice boxes? That sounds. Although I've already got it. I can't buy it again. When I saw it in the cinema, I didn't know he was Khan. Hadn't seen any trailers for it, and I remember my mother yelling out, "I knew it!" when he said it's Khan, and you was like, "Who?" I'll take it. Had you seen Wrath of Khan at that point? I'm guessing not. We'll skip over Michael's next message. No, we won't. There it is. Just be fair. Some classic Doctor Who missing episode has been found, and I want to see Crusade, Toymaker, and Moonbase Underwater Menace. Is that meant to be? Michael, you know about that stuff? Was you a fan of Space 1999 growing up? I picked up Blu-ray last week. Love me some retro sci-fi. I love retro sci-fi. Space 1999. I remember having the toy of the ship. I think that's the right one. Yeah, I'm sure I am. That's going back some. I used to watch them as a kid, but boy, I cannot remember them very well at all. But yes, it was. As a kid, sci-fi of that era was very. It played a big part. I remember watching all that sort of stuff on TV. It was, it captured the imagination. It certainly did. Mark's Movie Corner, I completely agree. That's about First Contact. I don't think I had not sure. That's about knowing about Khan. So yes, a few would have been Who, much like Kirk's reaction to it should have been. I haven't heard anything of new lost episodes found, so news to me. Okay, cool. There we go. Any more questions, anyone? Any more subjects you want me to talk about? Come on. Let me just have a flick through some Alien comic. It's the latest Alien comic from Marvel. Marvel are actually doing a Wolverine and Predator crossover. I wonder how long it would be before Marvel done a crossover with Aliens and Predator and their characters. Obviously, you used to get back in the day. I mean, Predator in comics has fought Batman, Superman. Batman's fought the aliens. Green Lantern fought aliens and Predator. Magnus Robot fight Tarzan. They've done Tarzan and Predator crossover comic. But you got Predator and Wolverine, two hunters. Out of all the Enterprises, NX-01 to the 1701G, which is my favourite. Okay, it's the Enterprise refit. that you see in Star Trek, the motion picture, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, and then is destroyed in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. That's my favourite Star Trek ship. Doesn't matter what angle that ship is shot at, it looks beautiful and fantastic. I'm sort of half on the Enterprise A is obviously just another version of that anyway. Enterprise B is an Excelsior class, isn't it? I was never really a fan of the Excelsior class. Enterprise ABC, that was yesterday's Enterprise, wasn't it? That was seen in that. Can't really remember it too well, so I can't really say much about that one. Enterprise D was okay. It wasn't bad. Enterprise E, Enterprise F, I don't know, Enterprise G. NXO, I like the NX-01 design because it was different. It was different. I quite liked that, and I like models of that because it's just, I don't know. There's something about it I liked. That sort of step backwards. But yeah, so it'd be the refit Enterprise. Michael, what's yours? Is it the is it the F still? Is it the F? I wasn't too keen on the G. It felt like a bit of a step backwards. But there we go. The G's the one they renamed as the Enterprise at the end of Titan, isn't it? What's my thoughts on Captain America 4? Harrison Ford is president. So Harrison Ford is General Thaddeus Ross, isn't he? In it, I'm assuming General Thaddeus Ross has been made president. That's fine. I've got no worries. You know, I like the character. I'm a big fan of the character of Sam Wilson. I like the Falcon. Actually, my teacup there is actually Captain America teacup that I was drinking from. I like the Captain America story. I like that other people have stepped into the role of Captain America. I had no issue with Sam Wilson taking on the mantle of Captain America. It made more sense than it being Bucky Barnes. Simply because of Bucky Barnes' history. Sam Wilson was the next logical choice. So I'm quite happy to see another Captain America film. I've seen a couple of set photos, I suppose. I quite like the look of the new uniform. I know people have knocking it, but I had no problem with it. I quite like the new uniform. It looked pretty good. I'm going to stop this at midday, dead on the dot, if anyone's wondering. It's about 17 minutes away. I'm looking forward to new Captain America with Sam Wilson in the suit. Bucky Barnes did get to step into a Captain America outfit in the comics. He did become a Captain America. He still carried a gun with him. But no, Sam Wilson, fine. I like the Falcon. I've actually got a Falcon figure sat over there. Should I grab it or not? Shall I step up and grab it? I don't know. No, I won't. I can't bother. It's on the other side of the table. I love the F, but rewatching the Next Generation movies, I love the Sovereign Enterprise E, so it's a toss-up. Yeah, they're too sleek looking, I think. I think they're too sleek. Do you hope Bucky survives this film and goes back to be with Steve and Peggy Carter? No. I mean, I hope he survives the film. I'm sure he will. But I don't want him to go back in time and be with Steve and Peggy. That makes very little sense, very little to no sense in the sense that, is he their like adoptive child or something? He's got his own path. He's got his own path to walk, and that path is in the here and now, not in the past with them. Yeah, wouldn't make no sense to me for that to happen. But yeah, I wish they would give Hayley Atwell a concluding film as Peggy Carter, concluding the TV show. I really like Hayley Atwell as in that role. I'd like them to do something more with her, even if it is as the variant version. Yeah, the new costume for Cap reminds me of the Winter Soldier suit. You're talking about Captain America's suit in the Winter Soldier? Are you talking about the dark blue with the star there? The sort of spy suit, when he goes on sort of incognito missions? Or are we talking about the suit that he grabbed from the Smithsonian later on in the film? Because it's more akin to that, I think, which is the original Captain America suit from the first Avenger, which was a fantastic design of a Captain America suit. Probably stands up to be one of my favourites. I hated the suit he wore in the Avengers and that mask. It looked awful. That helmet, it looked awful. The Avengers suit was crap. I think Bucky's in Thunderbolts. Yeah, I've seen people compare it to the Winter Soldier suit. Okay. Yeah, no, it looks more akin to his, with the white and the red, the way that's done is more akin to his World War II outfit in my mind. That's what it looks like. But yeah, regardless, I look forward to it. I'm sure it won't deliver as well as I don't know how well it will be perceived at the cinema. It's a bit risky. Here's one for you. Which is your favourite TARDIS interior? I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've got one. I don't think there's one that that I've really been drawn to, in a sense. I don't, it's like, I don't know. What's yours? I don't know that I've got one. That's all I can say. I'm hard pushed to remember some of them. I remember the first one, Eccleston and that, simply because my son had the play set of it with the figures. So I remember that one quite well, but AJ, no offence, but like you love her most in the UK, I always have my ear to the ground on every new merch of Peggy. So one in each country loves her. The most. Sorry, I don't. Why would I? All right, I don't. Sorry, forgive my ignorance. I don't know what you're saying there. No, why would I take offence? Firstly, but like you love her most in the UK, I always have my ear to the ground. Why do you like Peggy? Yeah, I take it you like Peggy Carter yourself then. So one in each country loves her the most. What, me and you? The Eighth Doctor's is the Eighth Doctor. Who's the Eighth Doctor? Is that that's Eccleston, isn't it? Paul McGann was the seventh, where it was like a proper church inside, almost like, he had this big steps and all that sort of thing. That was quite nice. I quite like what they've done with that, actually. It felt very gothic. Oh, you're saying gothic there. Love the gothic style of the Eighth Doctor's TARDIS interior. So the eighth is Paul McGann and ninth is Eccleston. I don't know, mate. They're just numbers in my head. Yeah, the gothic style was great. Wasn't there do I remember there being leaves on the ground as well blowing around and things like that? I think I do. But there we go. There we have it. Look, we're at the end of the comments. No one's commenting. Do comment, ask me questions. It keeps it going. Keeps the momentum moving. Why ain't no one out enjoying the weather? Here, anyway, it's warm. There was. There's one for you. The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic. The Last Ronin was a story that followed the very last turtle. All the others had been killed and died and stuff like that. It would have made a good film. It would have made a good film. And look at what I've got here in the way of comic books I need to put away. Some of us are working, says Susie Q. Shouldn't be watching this then if you're working. Concentrate on working. The weather isn't particularly good in Ireland, says Michael. Okay, that's fair enough. Favourite UK-based film? Wow. My favourite film set in the UK? Do you know what's a really difficult question to answer? Or we'll talk about made in the UK. Film set in the UK. Okay, UK, United Kingdom. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. There you go. Yeah. I had to think about that. My mind went to Highlander, basing it on the elements that were set in Scotland, but then Scotland wouldn't have been part of the United Kingdom then, obviously. There we go. But yeah, so yeah, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. How's that for an answer? It's almost noon and I'm still in bed. That's lazy. 8 minutes and I'm off. I've got places to go, people to see, things to do. I've got a couple of videos to film that I want to get done. Great pick, AJ, says the monkey. Thank you. There's probably loads I could have thought of, but that came to mind when I was thinking, because my mind went to Braveheart as well, but then I was thinking, okay, Braveheart is set in Scotland. It's part of the United Kingdom, but historically speaking, it wouldn't have been, it wasn't really part of the, was it considered part of the UK then? They're fighting against the British. I mean, so yeah, Robin Hood is set in England. So there we go. Playing Down Under says hello. Oh, hello, Playing Down Under. What's time down there? Must be late. It's late night for you, isn't it? It's getting into the night time, I think. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because whenever I have Dan on from Thingamajig, what's Dan's Oceans Reviews? Sunday's not a good day for him because we do it sort of mid-afternoon, which is late night for you. Yeah, 8:53 p.m. Getting on a bit. 9 hours in front of us. There you go. Are you going to see Oppenheimer next month? I will see Oppenheimer at some point. Yeah. Cement Shoe says, I've been listening but eating breakfast. 6:53 a.m. here. Okay, cool. And Michael still needs to watch Braveheart. Disney, opinion on Disney getting Indiana Jones films. I think Disney's got too much monopoly on stuff. I think that I'm surprised it's taken them as long as it has to do anything with Indiana Jones. Ultimately, though, yeah, that's about it. That's what I can really come up with. It is what it is, because there's nothing I can do about it either way. So I don't really think in those sort of terms, like, oh, I'm angry that they've got it or anything. It is what it is. We are where we are. But yeah, I think they've got too much monopoly. Their left-wing ideology is counterproductive to stuff to stuff, I think, and it's taken them a long time to do anything with the property, considering they've had it as long as it is, and it's potentially a cash cow for them to be milked. But yeah, it's what it is. This is one of my favourite new channels, by the way. I'm opening an independent film production company myself. Oh, cool. Okay, where how are you getting into that? What's making you do that? And I appreciate the kind words. It's very nice. Will you be watching Barbie next month as well, or will you skip it? I will give Barbie a watch. I'll give Barbie a watch. Margot Robbie's easy on the eye. I'm pretty sure that I can watch 2 hours of Margot Robbie as Barbie. I wonder if they'll actually do a Barbie doll with her likeness. It's just sort of popped in my head. A Barbie doll, and it's scanned on her proper likeness. I don't know why that popped in my head. I was probably thinking of like a sort of 6 foot inflatable or something like that. I don't know. Who knows with my mind? But there we go. Yeah, but no, I'll watch it. I'll watch Barbie, and I can't form a judgment on it and unless I watch it. We got to see. Watcher AJ, how you doing? What can always believe? Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm good. I've just won my first ever eBay auction. Really? Okay. What was it for? Anything of interest? Let us know. Michael's getting out of bed finally. The new Doctor is in Barbie, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in it. Oh yeah, I think I did know that, but it's one of those bits of information that just filtered out of my head until you just mentioned it, and I thought, oh yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, that doesn't really make me want to. Yeah, that's neither here nor there for me in that sense. Mentions I write screenplays and figured I would take on the capacity of a producer as well for more creative control. Superb. Okay. Well, if anything comes of that, you have to let us know. Yeah, so I'm going to be jumping off myself in a minute because I'm 3 minutes to midday, and I've got to finish Fight Club. I've got to finish watching Fight Club and do my review as a first time watch, which was voted upon for later in the week. I know the ending, don't worry. Can't spoil that for me. And I did want to go and record another TV collection video and a Desert Island Discs, another episode of that. I don't know what to start with though. Michael already has August videos planned out, including doing a re-review of The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, Michael is not a fan of The Empire Strikes Back. In fact, he dislikes it immensely. And I'd like to hear a more in-depth opinion on why. Beyond I didn't like it, and I like nitty-gritty. I like delving into why, the mindset, why you didn't like it. I'll tell you, when I went to see it at the cinema, and this was on in '97 when they done the special editions. I went with a girlfriend at the time, and she's not into Star Wars, and I said to her, there's a bit in this film when I guarantee you, now I watched it, I went on opening day, and I said, I guarantee you, it's in London West End, that the audience will cheer, will start applauding, whatever. And it was that scene where Han Solo says, where Princess Leia says, I love you. And he just answers back with, I know. And it did. The audience just applauded at that very scene, just like I knew they would. It's a great film. Hey AJ, did you go for the new Duel Steelbook set? I did indeed. I love Steven Spielberg's Duel. It's a fantastic film. Obviously, it was made as a TV movie, and then released in cinemas with some other bits added to it. Not only do I like it, but the film has got a fantastic retrospective making of on it. You know, the production company, the TV company, wanted Spielberg to make this film in front of a green screen. Spielberg said, "No, I'll go out and film it for real." You know, can you imagine if that movie was made all on green screen, all the car parts? And I think Spielberg filmed it in 16 days. He went out and filmed it. And obviously that's what got him Jaws. And it is essentially Jaws. It's man versus, in this case, a machine, but an unstoppable beast. Because you never see the driver of the vehicle. And I think you see his foot at one point towards the start getting in the cab or something like that. But you never... So the truck takes on a more sinister role in that it's almost a creature that doesn't stop pursuing you. It's a fantastic film. It really is. You have never watched Fight Club? No, I haven't. It never appealed to me. Never ever appealed. Yeah, it's just one of those films that, you know, there are certain films that I'm sort of visiting now. That, not to say I didn't watch films. I've watched films my entire life. I have, but like anyone, there's certain films that just I weren't intrigued by. Fight Club being one of them. So that's why I do now this sort of vote upon this poll of unwatched movies, and you tell me what movie to watch, and that in itself kind of forces me into watching these older films. You know, I hadn't watched Commando from Arnie, and obviously I was a big fan of Arnie's back then. You know, and I watched his films, but there was nothing about Commando that was ever a draw for me. A film needed a hook. You know, Predator had the alien, things like that. Rambo was Rambo, but Commando just looked like a rip-off of Rambo and that sort of a thing. So for me, it was just like a generic action movie. And in that era, there was so much of it that a lot of them, it's just like, I don't want to take the time to watch this movie. There's lots like that. And yeah, so there's a few films that I haven't bothered with, and they'll come up in them voting polls, and I will get to them. Why not? It's the Zavvi exclusive steelbook of Carrie, which cost. Oh, cool. Okay, is that the remake of Carrie? Was that? Did I see the remake? I always get Carrie confused with Firestarter. That's the girl, isn't it? Two films. Carrie, was that? In the remake of Carrie, was that the girl from Kick-Ass? Her name eludes me. Her name eludes me. Chloe Grace Moretz. Am I thinking of the right film? I can picture a cover where it's eyes and the eyes are sort of bloodshot or bleeding, something like that. Carrie, the original, I haven't seen for a long, long time. It's not a film I've got in the collection, nor is the remake one. But yeah, that and sort of Firestarter are they sort of amalgamate in my mind. The ending visualization is beautiful. Did you thank Mary after the end? I haven't got to the end yet. I'm about 25 minutes in. I started it at 4 a.m. and then about 25 at 4:25 I switched it off and started sleeping again. Not because I was bored, just because I was tired, and I thought, I'll just shut my eyes. So I need to watch it now. In August, I reviewed 100 movies on the channel. Fantastic. Stephen says yes to Carrie. I'm assuming. Is you referring to yes? Am I correct on that? HF Movie, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Okay, Alien Resurrection review coming soon. Review of Alien Resurrection. My thoughts on that. The film plays like a parody of an alien film. All the characters feel like they're caricatures of real people. They don't feel like real people. it doesn't aesthetically, it doesn't fit within the Alien films, the other 3 Alien films. I know it's jumped forward 250 years or something silly, but it just feels, it doesn't feel like an Alien film to me. Yeah, and it also freaked me out actually, because the culmination of life and death in one being, with the alien at the end, the new hybrid alien that acts like a baby but is capable of killing. It kind of, when I first watched it in '97, I came away feeling uneasy on that concept, and it was these two things coming together, birth and death wrapped into one, essentially. Beginnings of life wrapped with the ends of life, kind of a thing. Yeah, and I think it's quite chilling when you can hear the baby alien being sucked out of the porthole, out of the hole, saying help me, screaming help me, because it's got a voice. And yeah, but yeah, as a film, it's not a great movie. Just simply because of characters. Like I said, no one in it feels, the main army guy doesn't feel like he should be playing a military personnel. He doesn't feel like military personnel. He feels like caricature. Godzilla's the same for me. 1998 Godzilla, caricature people. I'm thinking of the cover of Let Me In. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a look at the cover of Carrie now. I know the film. I can't picture the 1976 Carrie. Was there a remake of Carrie? Yes, Sissy Spacek. Yeah. Was there a remake? Was it remade? Or wasn't it? I'm getting all these films confused. There we go. Yes. AJ, have you seen any Lawn movies lately? Lawn? Can you reiterate what you mean by that? Nothing beats the original 1979 Alien. This is very true. It's a fantastic film. Not Michael's cup of tea, though. It's the original one with Sissy Spacek and John Travolta. I saw the remake with my ex at the pictures, but she had already seen it and kept telling me what's going to happen before it happens, which ruined it. Okay, so there is a remake. I am right in that. I have a large collection, but I have one steelbook. But after seeing yours and Matt's videos, I've really started to get into them. Okay, all right, cool. Steelbooks dent easy though. That's the thing. They do. Yeah. You need to protect them. I've moved room. At Christmas, I dented a couple. Didn't realise I dented them until recently, but I dented a couple. Have you ever done Blu-ray hunting at Tesco or Morrison's or Sainsbury's? I may have filmed a little bit in Tesco's or Sainsbury's back when they'd done physical media. Now, I know Tesco's has had a few pop-up recently selling, I think, Warner Brother titles. But Morrison's, I haven't really got a Morrison's near me to go to be honest. So, no, I don't generally do supermarket Blu-ray hunting. Yeah. There was Carrie 2 The Rage, then a more modern remake of Carrie recently. Wow. I'm also bidding on three different editions of my favourite picture, Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. If I win, I'll have 17 different editions of Scarface. Wow. I think that's probably about as many as I've got of The Punisher. 2004. I used to have a chocolate Labrador. It was my wife's chocolate Labrador, but the dog loved me more. I think she was only young when I came along, but the dog took to me, and I used to say to her, say hello to my little friend, and she would, you know, it was like tail wag. It was like, yeah, it was fantastic. Am I enjoying the sun? I'm not a lover of the sun. I don't love the sun. The sun doesn't love me back. The sun burns me. And I don't like heat. I find heat to be, I just can't function in hot weather. And also hay fever plays a big role in that as well. So, not really a lover of the sun. I long for the long dark nights. June the 21st, summer solstice, longest day of the year. Not far off. Then the days start getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Yeah. I don't mind. I like to be sunny when I go away, but not too hot. Sun sucks. Never come to Australia. Monkey says, AJ, you mentioned the Margot Robbie doll. They are releasing 2 versions for the movie. How can they not? Of course, it makes sense. And it's a toy line. Margot Robbie, put Margot Robbie's face on a Barbie doll. And you've got sales, inevitably. There's a Barbie doll upstairs, actually. It's my daughter's. She was never really into Barbie, but she's got, I bought her one, and it's Elektra. It's Elektra, you know, the Marvel Comics character from Daredevil. And it's a Barbie Elektra. I've seen this box and everything. I bought her that. Are you getting Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse on Steelbook or 4K? I've pre-ordered Steelbook for it. Just a little sort of, it's kind of ironic that you've sort of mentioned that and I'm bringing this to an end. But at 6 p.m. tonight, obviously I've got my weekly pickup video. Keep an eye out in that, because I did pick up a new copy of Into the Spider-Verse that I show in that at 6 p.m. There you go. Now that works out really well. Yeah, because on the back of, I think Into the Spider-Verse is my favourite Spider-Man film. It hands down, I'd put it above the live-action Spider-Man films. I think it's just perfect movie. Really is. And I really enjoyed the sequel. So I will be getting the Steelbook, 4K Steelbook for the sequel. I'm one of those who have to apply sunscreen every 15 minutes. I also despise the heat. Yeah, I have to. Can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Although I don't mind it. I don't mind it with, if I'm going in sea. As long as I'm in water and it's warm, I'm fine. Then I'm okay. That's about it. With the Film Vault range being overly expensive, will you be getting the Jaws one? I can't stand the sun. I'm asthmatic and hot weather affects my breathing. Yeah, is that because of the pollen though? Is that the breathing? Is it because I suffer with not asthma, but I do get breathing difficulty in the summer, and it's related to, you know, because asthma, hay fever, eczema are all very interconnected issues. What version of Volume 3 are you getting? Are we talking about Volume 3 of Into the Spider-Man Spider-Verse films? It would be a Steelbook again if one is available. I'm assuming you're talking about Spider-Man, but we don't know, do we, what's available yet? Because we ain't filming it. I can't breathe in the heat. Yes, it's horrible. It does affect people in different ways. Did you shed a tear when Miles' uncle gets killed by Kingpin? No, I didn't. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Okay, I did wonder if you meant Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll get a Steelbook for it. Because I have all the Marvel films on Steelbook, and it was a great film. They've not announced anything yet, though, have they? Have they shown any art or anything for it yet? I've not seen nothing. But there we go. So we're at 12:15. I was going to finish at 12. So I am going to shoot off now because I've got the tortoise in the bath. He's banging. I can hear his shell clanging to the sides. He wants to come out. I need to finish this movie and hopefully get a couple of videos in the bank today, so to speak. Have you seen Knock at the Cabin? If so, okay, I'll do this one quickly. I'll do this quick. Knock at the Cabin, I didn't like it. I thought it was wholly predictable from the get-go, straight away. Don't know what it was. I hadn't seen a trailer or anything. Straight away, when there was 4 of them carrying different things, I turned round and said, they're the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They represent the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which essentially they did in a roundabout way. I didn't like the film at all. I thought it was rubbish. Think Spielberg will be in the shape of his Zune. Zune? Am I sorry, Monkey, am I missing something? Red Outlaw says, hey AJ. Hey Red Outlaw, you all right? I was about to shoot off. I'll give you 4 more minutes if you want to ask me anything. And then I've got to go because I have stuff to do. I need another cup of tea as well. But yeah, so how are you doing? Yeah, so Monkey, what do you in shape of his Zune? Oh, his Zune is that a music thing? Is that a little music playing device? I'm assuming that it's something that came and went without any fanfare back in the day. Yeah, playing Rocket plays a song on. Okay, yeah. I did, yeah, okay, I sort of got it. It sort of hit me as to what that might have been. Yes, I don't know. Bloody hell, look. I'm good. What about you? I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm very well. Hey, Mike, how you doing, mate? You all right? I am doing well. How are you? Dr. Octopus is off. See you later. Thanks a lot for popping in. I get shortness of breath anyway, but clammy heat makes it worse, and weirdly my face never sweats, so the heat makes my face feel suffocated, so I'm often by a fan and have mist spray on me. Yes, I feel for you, I do, because like I said, I'm not a heat lover. His Zone is his music player, Rocket plays his song on. I'm about to have coffee, it's 4 a.m. Up early, up for work? I just can't sleep. I've got to put some apples out for the parrots in a minute as well, out there. Let the old parakeets eat. But yeah, so humidity does me in. Yep. I'm good, AJ. Great to see you live. What's a physical media title you're waiting to go cheaper in CEX? Tulsa King with Stallone. I'll pick up when it goes a bit cheaper. I did nearly pick up a Shazam Blu-ray the other day. I got my missus to go into, she was in Woolwich. Woolwich had, no, Eltham. Eltham had 2 in stock. I said to her, can you go in and have a look if they've got a slip cover? Had they had a slip cover, I'd have said to her, grab me one. But neither had a slip, so I said, I'll just leave it. Yeah, so I don't know, because I want the German, possibly the German steelbook on that, but Shazam is one that I would get if I don't get the German steelbook. I did pick up 65. Pearl coming out is possibly one. I'll wait to go cheaper. There's no need for me to buy it on release day. I really liked it. I like Pearl. I hated X. But yeah, Tulsa King is one, most definitely. Because I've only just finished the series not long ago anyway, so it makes no sense for me to buy it now when it's just going to go on the shelf, and I probably ain't going to watch it and then see it at 10 quid in CEX down the line and think to myself, if I'd waited, I could buy that now for 10 quid instead of 20 quid or whatever it is. And I still haven't watched it. HMV really need to sort out their packaging, at least wrap the items in bubble wrap. Oh, okay, that's interesting, because my 1 edition of John Wick is coming from HMV. I don't often order from HMV, so I can't, for want of a better term, wrap my head around their packaging at the moment. All I know is that Zavvi have upped their game a bit. Amazon just don't care anymore whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see what HMV do, how it will come with from HMV. See you later. I'll look forward to your Alien Resurrection review. I'll be interested. But anyway, so it's 20 past, everyone. I'm going to get going. Thank you very much for the comments. It's been a lovely 1 hour and 40 minutes. Amazon. Yes, Amazon. Yeah, they are. They're hideous. Yeah, I'd wait for Pearl to go cheap, but we'll be in CEX in a few weeks, less than £10. Never had issues with HMV. To be honest, CEX online are amazing for packaging, their physical media orders. Okay, yeah, CEX I don't order from often. But yeah, he did mean that. He meant Amazon. It's bad. Everyone take care. See you later, Cement. Have a good day, man, says Red Outlaw. Thanks a lot. And everyone, see you later. Thank you very much. Now, I won't be live for a few weeks. I know I do the lives with Matt. He's going to be doing them over the next 2 weeks. I won't be present in them because I'm not here. I'm busy. So Matt's got people on doing what he does. So be sure to check that out. And I'm pretty sure that after that, so 3 weeks from now, I'll be back on. Oh, Adrian, you're popping in. I'm just popping out, mate. Sorry you've missed me. Hope you have a good day. But thank you for jumping in and saying happy Sunday. Take care, all. I'll see you later. Goodbye.